Welcome back to another Pokemon Market Monday, your one-stop shop for all your Pokemon information. We go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going up in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news, like cards are set to get revealed. And we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is ARIZONATCG. If you guys have some graded cards you're looking to sell, but you do not want to deal with a bunch of people lowballing you, or you having to ship cards out every other day, then ARIZONATCG is perfect. You just send them all your graded cards. They're going to take professional scans. Then they're going to post it to their massive weekly eBay auctions, which gets a ton of eyes. And then too, right now through all of November, they're doing 50% off your very first submission. You just got to use Beard at checkout. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. And as you guys can see, I am not at home. We just got done vending at the Columbus, Ohio show. And you guys know I will never, ever miss a video. We're going to be checking all the new Phantasmal Flames cards. We got some PSA 10 sales already, and we even have a record sale in today's video. And we're going to start off with PokeBeard. Ton of news, actually. So we got Team Rocket's Dugtrio and Team Rocket's Honchkrow from Mega Dream EX revealed. New R reverse holos. So that's kind of cool. I like when they switch it up and stuff with the reverse holos and commons and uncommons. Next, we have the Pokemon Day 2026 collection revealed for January. This will come out January 30th for $15. It will come with a Holo Pikachu, 4 Temporal Forces with a special Pokemon Day 2026 stamp. And we got 3 booster packs. Phantasmal Flames in the front. Looks like Mega Evolution. Pretty cute Pikachu, though. Not gonna lie. Kind of like it. Next, Lowe's stores in the United States will begin carrying the Pokemon TCG. There's a Lowe's actually right by my Walmart. So, yeah, go check out your Lowe's. Looks like it's going to start stocking next month. And we got the Team Rocket's Moltres EX UPC release at GameStop for Black Friday. Will release exclusively at their stores on November 28th for Black Friday. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty cool box. So, I really like how the box looks. And I actually really love the Team Rocket's Moltres EX promo. I do wish we got a completely different art. But anytime we can get an SIR as a promo, I'm happy. Next, we have a way better picture of this Zekrom. You know, these new cards. We got the Ends Rush Ram. We are now going to be getting the Ends Zekrom. All right, let's get into it. We got celebrations. Again, you guys know there's not a ton of stuff moving. The only thing that's doing pretty good is the premium figure collection. This box is still slowly climbing. Now all last sold 178, 179, 165, 185. But no joke, everything else is technically coming down a little bit. The Celebrations UPC is holding pretty strong. I think it's down maybe $10. Last sold 870, 880, 899, 850. So that thing is holding on very good. And the Celebrations Pokemon Center ETB is coming down. Last sold 365, 373, and 399. And then, of course, the Celebrations regular ETB going down. If you guys did not know, we checked the best 3 sets from the Sword and Shield era, and then the best 3 sets from the Scarlet and Violet era. Every single Market Monday, and we've been doing that since it started. But last sold for the Celebrations ETB is all at about 230. So honestly, Celebrations is holding very strong. It's just slowly coming down. Next, we have Evolving Skies booster box coming down in price just a little bit. The ETBs are hanging on pretty strong, right around 380. And let's check the Pokemon Center ETB. Here is the Espeon one. See if we have any new crazy sales. Last sold 760, 909. But we get like 1 sale a month for this box on TCG Player. Sells almost every single day on eBay. But honestly, that's about it. I do want to check the Mewtwo v Union Special Collection. Last sold for this one 143, 156, 161. So that's getting up there. One of the cooler collection boxes, especially for Evolving Skies. Not really a ton. Next, we have Crown Zenith. Now, the ETB just tipped a little bit below $200. Last sold 195, 190, 193. So if this thing gets to like 150, I mean, that's definitely going to be a steal, in my opinion. But no joke, that is about it for Crown Zenith. Let's check the actual booster pack, see how that thing's doing. Still doing good. Last sold 1249, 13, 1439, 10 of them at 1450. Next, we have 151. Nothing moved at all the entire week for 151. Same thing with like kind of Celebrations. Everything is just holding super strong. We will check this UPC because I don't think I clicked this one yet. But last sold for this 574, 550, 570, 575. So yeah, everything for 151, very strong. Got the regular ETB market price 401. And then the Pokemon Center ETB prices range from like 900 to 1,000. Next, we have Prismatic Evolutions. Same exact thing. Everything is leveled out. We got the ETB at 130. The Prismatic Pokemon Center ETB right around 350. The SPC, we'll check this one. Last sold 265, 266. But no joke, these are definitely slowing down and leveling out. And Destin Rivals doing very good also. Market price for the ETB 122 still. Booster box is hanging super strong at 380. And Pokemon Center ETB, I think we had one low sale for this one. Last sold 305, 329, 300, 317. So, and we can get it shipped right now for about $325. So that one went down about 20 bucks. But otherwise, everything else is holding strong. Next, we have Phantasmal Flames, which is now officially released. So we're going to run through everything real quick so we know what everything is selling for. So we got the booster box already bouncing back a little bit. It got down to 296 on TCG Player, as you can see right here, or 289 actually. And now last sold 305, 300, 299, 310. And then we have the regular ETB. Last sold for this 90, 98. And then we got the booster bundle under $50. That's good to see. Last sold 49, 49, 50, 48. And we got to check the actual booster pack. So packs for Phantasmal Flames are selling for about $8.50. And check the Pokemon Center ETB. And for all this newer stuff, a lot of people just want to make a little bit of money. So do not be afraid to shoot some people some offers on eBay and stuff. I've been checking on 130 point, and a lot of these Pokemon Center ETBs are selling for pretty cheap, you know, when somebody sends them an actual offer. But last sold on here, 274, 275, 285, 299, which is pretty expensive. We can get it shipped right now for about $290. So definitely try eBay if you really want one. And just start shooting some offers. You never know what's going to happen. Next, we have the Mega Charizard UPC. This got up to $395. Now last sold 210, 215, 210. I mean, if this thing gets to like 160 to like 180, that's not terrible compared to all the other UPCs. I think even the Terrapagos UPC is like 170. All right, getting into some products that are going up and a couple cards. Then we're going to run through all the Phantasmal Flames cards. We got the Paldea Evolved ETB, got down to 112. It was at 125 before. Now last sold 142, 136, 110, 139. This is truly the only box or card in the entire Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield era that just went crazy the last week. No joke, like the only thing. It's kind of wild. Next, we have the Lucario Mega Evolution ETB, just bouncing back a little bit, got down to about 80. Now last sold 85. Pretty much all at 86. Next, we have the Generations Booster Pack. So we got the 30th anniversary coming soon, and a lot of people forget about the 20th anniversary. Now let's sold for this 180. 10 of them at 190, 191, 210. Just for a loose Generations pack. Next, we have the Generations ETB. And you can tell because it actually has a 20 on there, which I really like that design. I thought that was adorable. Now let's sold for this. $2,080, 2K before that, 21, 21, 1990. That is a very expensive ETB. Next, we have the VMAX Dragon Premium Collection. This is a cool box. If you flip it around, you know, it's double-sided, so one side's got Rayquaza and then the other one's got the Duraludon or whatever. But last sold for this box is $200. We can get it shipped right now for $235. That is pretty expensive for that box. Next, we have the Vaporeon VMAX Premium Collection. Still doing great. Last sold 360, 308, and those are our two newest sales. We do have another one here at 387 with a picture. Almost a $400 box. Next, we have the Milotic Trainer Gallery card. So I've been watching a lot of these cards, just watching them free fall, kind of waiting for them to bounce back up. And I've noticed some of them are starting to do that now, like the Milotic Trainer Gallery. Got down to like 350. Now last sold 599, 340, 410, 550. So like I said, just bouncing back a little bit. I just like to keep my eye on this stuff to see how much it actually drops. Next, the Dedenne. This card's also doing pretty good. It was at 441, now 567, 480, so up a buck or two. But as you can see, actually has a line going up. And the Altaria, bouncing back to $1. And we got a couple special illustration rares. Actually, a handful of them are up a couple dollars. Like this Salamence here is up from like 70 to 75. But I didn't add all of them because they're only up a couple dollars. But it's just good to see some of these cards bouncing back and holding some of their value. Even the Enzora here, you know, went from like 55 to almost 60. And then the Pokemon Go Spinner Rack. I totally forgot about these peelable Ditto cards. So this was about $4 6 months ago. Now that's sold $8.90, $8.92, $8.13. So still just slowly climbing up. Next, we are checking out all the Phantasmal Flames cards, and I'm talking all of them, promos and everything. So we have that beautiful GameStop Suicune that came out for Phantasmal Flames, selling for $20, $18, $20. Someone was actually nice enough to give me one this weekend at the Columbus, Ohio show. I forgot his name, but if you are watching, thank you so much, because you guys know I do collect every single Suicune card, so I needed it. Next, we have the Genesect. This is the Phantasmal Flames Best Buy promo. Last sold 15, 14, 15, 10, 11. And then we have the Phantasmal Flames Reshiram. Last sold 20, 20, 19, 19, 20. Looks like we got the whole set of those three for $50. Next, we have the Build and Battle promos. If you guys do not know, these little Build and Battle boxes, they come with a sealed deck. And there's 4 promos that you can get with that Phantasmal Flames stamp. So we got all 4 sealed here for $65. We got the Flygon for $20. Another one for $17. The Zacian here at $9. Another one for all 4 at $50. Another Zacian here at $29. Wow, it's quite the jump. Toxtricity at $10. Another one here at $17. So these promos do hold value. Next, we have the UPC cards. We got the Oricorio here. This is a Black Star promo. Beautiful card done by Shinji Kanda. Last sold $40, $60, $30, $38, $38, $43. We got the Oricorio and the Charizard for $130. Again, same thing for $127. Bunch more at about $30 to $40. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X promo. Last sold $60. That's for both of them at $115. Another one here, just a Charizard at $85, $100. Another one here at $100, $108, $80, $80, $115. That's crazy. Basically pays for your entire box that you just bought. Next, even the playmat and accessories are worth money. Just for the newer people, if you guys did not know. Honestly, it's a pretty sick playmat. This is a terrible picture, but the colors are crazy. The last sold for the playmat and the actual sleeves, $20. Another one here at $12. Couple playmats at $9, $15, $19, $15. So, tons of value in that box. Next, we have the full arts from Phantasmal Flames. This is the Mega Lopunny EX. Last sold for $520, $540. Next, the Mega Heracross. This card is sick. I actually pulled this card in a pack battle this weekend. Last sold $565 and $4. And then we got the Mega Sharpedo EX. The colors on these cards are wild. Last sold for this one, $450, $591. Next, the actual full art Mega Charizard. So this thing was at $103. Now that's sold $49, $56, and $53. Next, the Meowth Illustration Rare is the most expensive illustration rare in the set. This is a card that we thought was a Japanese exclusive promo, but then we got it for English. This was at $58. Now that's sold $27, $23, and $39. Next, the Piplup, beautiful card. Now last sold for this, $17, $18, $19, and $15. Next, we have the Wigglytuff. Last sold for this card, $840, $867, $978. And then the Flygon, my favorite illustration rare in the set. Last sold $840, $819, and $7. And the Dugong, beautiful card. We just had some crazy Northern Lights last week. But last sold for this one at $8, $7, and $9. And we even got the Paldean Wooper, another card that we thought was a Japanese exclusive. Last sold $5, $7, $6. So a lot of these cards are very affordable to where you don't really even have to worry. You can buy them right now. They might go down another $1 or $2, but that's not a big deal. We got these Zacian here, all last sold at $6. And even the Toxtricity, super cool art if you actually look at this card. I was looking at it in person the other day. There's a lot of cool little details in there. Last sold for this one, $450 and $578. Now, you can't tell me that's not a solid lineup for illustration rares. Toxtricity, Zacian, the Paldean Wooper. We got the beautiful Dugong, Gen 1. We got Flygon, Wigglytuff, another Gen 1, Piplup, starter, and Meowth, Gen 1. Like, that's a solid lineup. All right, let's get into the special illustration rares. Like, I feel like the illustration rare lineup is much better than the special illustration rare lineup. We got the Rotom EX. This card was at $42. Now last sold $28, $29, and $48. And I almost forgot, we got to do the question of the day So for today's question, what is your favorite electric Pokemon? And it cannot be Pikachu. Let me know down below. All right, next we have the Mega Sharpedo EX from Phantasmal Flames. This card is pretty sick. I did see this one in person. The colors are wild. Was at 60, now that's sold 43, 48, 43. And the Mega Lopunny EX. This was at 50, then went all the way up to 62. Now last sold 45, 42, 59, and 43. And we will be checking all these cards on Falling Friday also, because I have a feeling they're going to keep dropping. Next, we have the Dawn. This is a beautiful special illustration rare trainer. Do wish there was some Pokemon in the background, but still, not bad. Now last sold 58, 55, 59. Card's doing very good, right up there with the Full Art Charizard. Next, we have the Gold Mega Charizard EX. This is at about $900 on TCG Player. Now last sold 615, 718, 635, and 599. That's still crazy. We can buy it right now for $605. And now we have the big boy, the Mega Charizard X Special Illustration Rare. And I think we did just see some leaks for a Mega Charizard Y Gold card. So I have a feeling we might get a Mega Charizard Y Special Illustration Rare also, which would be super, super crazy. But this card was at about 920 on TCG Player. Now last sold 778, 800, 800, 800, 1399, 749, 790. We had a Chinese one at 439. A ton of sales here between like 750 to 800. Couple lightly playeds at 700. Actually, if we scroll down a little bit, pretty much all the sales here at 700 and like 680 looks like our lowest. But when we scroll up, the sales are now, 750 to 800, and then the one crazy sale here at 1400. And we can get it shipped right now from a legit seller for $825, otherwise from a decent seller for $802. That is still a very expensive card. Next, we do have a couple PSA 10 sales. We have the Gold Charizard sold for $4,488 in a 10, and we have another sale here at $4,700. And that is it for the gold. And for the SIR, we got a sale here at $4,250. Another one at $3K, $3,800, $3,999. Look at that. We even got some more raw ones here at $1,250, $1,358. Because when you just look on TCG Player, that only gives you half the story. A lot of these people, they want these cards mint. So they will pay a lot more if it's centered well, if it's clean, there's no whitening, which is why we're seeing sales at $1,200, $1,300 for raw. It even says PSA 10 contender. And last on the list, we have a record sale here. We got the Latias XY Black Star promo. I talk about these cards all the time. These are the first ever illustration rare cards, and I always felt like they were so undervalued. And I even feel like a lot of the arts could destroy some of the cards we're getting today. But yeah, just sold for $10,600 in a 10 by Z&G Emporium. Pop 3. And also, even if you don't like this card, this stuff is good to know, because if you ever come across some of these cards raw, you're not getting them graded and they are super clean, you could be missing out on crazy money. Because you go look this card up on TCG Player, you think it's a $40 card or whatever, but it's worth 10 grand in a PSA 10. So that's why it's good to just know. I always think about how many other PSA 10 cards are just sitting in people's binders somewhere because they're either scared to grade or they just think their cards aren't even worth that much money. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Market Monday. If you guys do like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment if you guys want to support more. They also have a new hype thing where I think down by the comments you can give hype points to a creator. I think up to 3 videos a week. I'd really appreciate that. And if you guys could do me a massive favor and definitely start checking out my Throwback Thursdays, where every single week we highlight a certain Pokemon and we look at their best cards throughout all of Pokemon history. It's honestly a ton of fun and you're going to learn so much, I promise. And then you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube membership, the merch, the PSA link. If you guys want to get a free graded card, you can click my link in the description and use code BEARD25 to receive $25 off your very first PSA submission. And then 2, if you guys want to watch my last Sunday where we do a giveaway and I go through a bunch of cards that I think are being slept on and boxes, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.